Hey, what's good, guys? So, in today's story time, I'm talking about a girl that I used to date from like 2 years ago. And it was the fucking weirdest, most craziest person I think I've ever had a relationship with. And yeah, this is pretty weird and scary and creepy and crazy. So, leave a fucking like on this video. And if you want to check out my stream, I'm telling another story involving the same exact girl on stream tonight with Facecam. So, right when this video goes up, I'll be live. So, come check it out. But anyway, today's video, I'm talking about the story of this girl. We're going to call her Alex. That's an easy name to remember. We'll call her Alex, okay? Now, Miss Alex was a girl that I started dating 2 years ago, and she seemed very cool in the beginning. She seemed pretty interesting. But of course, like 2 months into it, I realized that she was kind of a little bit too, like, untrustworthy, I guess. Like, she wouldn't trust me, and that would cause me to not trust her, and a whole bunch of bullshit. So I broke up with her, right? And she just completely went into like final form, like literally like evolved and went Super Saiyan psycho motherfucker on me. So basically I texted her and was like, hey, like, I don't think we're right for each other, this isn't working. And she immediately was just like, I know I'm right for you. And I was just like, oh, well, I don't think so, but I think you will find someone you are right for. And she was just like, no, I know that we're meant to be together. And I was like, well, I don't think so, so I wish you luck and I hope you find someone. And she's like, I'll be watching. And when she said this, I was like, what the fuck? I even replied asking what the hell she meant, but she didn't answer me. And I was like, okay, whatever. And later that night, I get a call on a restricted number being like, hey, so what are you going to be doing since we broke up? And it was her. And I was like, okay, you didn't have to call me on restricted. I know your voice. And I'll be doing nothing differently. I'll be playing video games, eating, and hanging out with my friends. And she's like, oh, yeah? I think you just want to fuck other girls. And I was like, okay. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but that's not my plan. She's like, I don't believe you. I was like, okay, well, I gotta go now. I'm getting tired. And I just hung up on her. And the next day, I went out with two friends of mine, both good friends of mine who I've hung out with for years, and they're both guys, okay? So I wasn't hanging out with girls or anything. But somehow she found out about this. Like, she knew where I was. I don't know if she followed me from my home, but I walked out of the pizza place with my friends that I was hanging out with, and I saw her car across the street, and the windows were up, and the car was super smoked out. I'm guessing they were smoking weed in there, her and her friend. And she was just looking out the window at me. And I was like, what the fuck? This girl is full on stalking me. And of course my friends start cracking fucking jokes left and right. My one friend's like, yo, look across the street. Go talk to her, bro. I'm like, dude, fuck off. He's like, come on, man, please. And I'm like, no. So we just turn left and we start walking down the sidewalk. And she turns her car on and starts slowly following us. And I'm getting text messages on my phone from her saying, come talk to me. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, like this girl's nuts. So I turn around and I walk over to her car and I was like, yeah. And she rolls her window down and she's just like, are we going to talk? And I was like, I don't know what to talk about. Like, what is there to talk about? She's like, about us? I was like, there's no us. Let's just go our separate ways. We can be friends soon. Just give me a few weeks. She's like, no, so you can go fuck other girls? I was like, oh my God. No, not so I could fuck other girls. So we can just like distance ourselves and then, be friends. And she still didn't believe me. So I was just like, okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. You're going to have to believe me because I'm telling the truth. And she's like, no, I don't have to. And I was like, okay, well, then don't. But I'm not going to do anything and you'll see that soon. And she's like, okay, whatever. And she turns her car on and just drives away. And I was like, okay, well, I guess that's the end of it. So I go up to my friends and I was like, sorry, guys. And they're all just laughing at me. They're like, damn, dude, like, you're in too deep. And I was like, shut up. And we keep walking, and I couldn't see her anywhere. So I'm guessing she gave up and went away. But apparently she didn't, because an hour later, I was at the lake with my friends on the beach. And I look, and over in the parking lot, there's her fucking car with the lights off. And I'm like, oh my God. Are you serious? So this time I didn't go up to her and talk to her. I just kind of ignored that she was there. So me and my friends decided to leave the beach and walk back to his car and drive home. So we get into his car and we drive all the way back to my friend's house. And we get out of the car, go inside, and I'm just hanging out with my friends. Now after 20 minutes of hanging out with them, my friend comes up to me. He's like, yo, I was just washing my hands and I looked out the kitchen window in my driveway and guess who's there? And I was like, no fucking way, dude. She doesn't even know where you live. There's no way. He's like, bro, I swear to God, like, I think she followed us home. I was like, oh my fuck. So I walk up to the kitchen window and I see her just standing there outside of her car and her friend's sitting there in the passenger seat. And I was like, fuck. So I walk outside and I ask her, I was like, what are you doing? She's like, well, I want to make sure you weren't having a party or anything. I was like, you followed us home? You've been following us the whole day. Like, this is really weird. Like, you're stalking me. She's like, so? I was like, oh my God. Like, if you don't fuck off, I'm going to call the cops. Like, you're stalking me. Like, leave. And she was just like, no. I was like, I swear on everything, I'm going to call the cops. She's like, no, you won't. I was like, okay. So I pull my phone out and I fake dial 911. And she gets in her car and she's like, this isn't over. And I was like, okay. She pulls out, drives away. And I was like, geez, man, like, what the fuck? So I go inside and they're like, what's up? I was like, well, I threatened to call the cops on her. And they all start laughing. And a few more friends of mine came over that night. And we did have like a little like get together, but it wasn't like a party or anything. And sure enough, this girl shows back up, sees cars in the driveway, and knocks on the front door. And my friend looks out the front window and he's like, dude, guess who's at the door? I was like, I swear. And I open the door, and sure enough, there she is. And I was like, oh my God. And she's just standing there, sipping her bottle of water, looking very angry. And I was like, what do you want? She's like, are there girls here? I was like, oh my God. And she goes, answer me right now. I was like, no, I don't need to. Like, seriously, I don't have to. You're not my girlfriend. And she goes, okay. And she takes her bottle of water and just proceeds to dump it on my head and just all over me. And I just looked up at her while the fucking water was dripping down my face. And I was just like, you are genuinely insane. Like, you belong in a mental hospital. And then she throws the bottle at me and turns around and walks away. And I was like, oh my God. So I turn around and my friend's laughing his ass off. He's like, dude, I can't believe this. Like, you're getting stalked and you just got water poured on you. And I was like, yep. Do you have any clothes? He's like, yeah, follow me. So I went upstairs. He gave me some clothes to wear. And I was just like, fuck, man. Like, what am I going to do? And that was the end of that story, okay? Now, that isn't to say there's more. And maybe I'll talk about one on stream tonight. Maybe a couple. I don't know. Come check it out. But yeah, that's not really where it ends, okay? There was some more shit. And maybe I'll do a live story tonight and record it and put it on my channel if that's something you guys are interested in. You know, slap a like on the video. Maybe I can do that. And that's the end of that story, okay? That night I went home. She didn't show up any other times. I was okay for that night. But that isn't to say that sometime soon after something else happened. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much into that story. I had a very, very stalker, creepy ex-girlfriend. And yeah, be careful you guys date. But yeah, guys, that's the end of the story. Leave a like on this video if you guys enjoyed this story. Leave your stories in the comments down below. Come check out my stream if you want. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys all later. Peace.